Welcome back. Today we're opening the final box. This box is called the doorway. This is the 10th and final box. Over the past 9 conversations, we've explored many different boxes. The box itself, the lock, the mask, the trigger, the seeker, the story, the weight, blame, and the key. Each one seemed different. But what if they're all pointing to the very same thing? Every box in the attic is stored energy. Some boxes are easy to recognize, while others have been tucked away for so long we hardly remember they're there. But even the boxes we've forgotten about still quietly hold our energy. Every box in the attic reveals where your energy's been living. Not because the box has power, but because the story within the box keeps competing for our energy. As long as the box remains unopened, energy continues flowing towards it. That's why certain situations seem to repeat, and that's why familiar emotions keep returning. I know for me, it was like this hamster wheel, right? It just going around and around until I really started seeing it as these boxes in the attic that I had put the feelings, the emotions, the story into. And when I felt strong enough, I would pull the box out and open it up and take a look at it and go, "Whoa, I am woman, hear me roar. I've got this. I'm great. Everything is perfect. I've got this." And then I would close the lid and put it back underneath the bed or put it back in the attic. And sooner or later, though, it would come back around. And when it comes back around, you think, "Oh, wait a minute, aren't I done with this?" It's not because life is working against us. It's because something in the attic is waiting to be seen. That's what every conversation in this series has been about. Not fixing ourselves, not becoming someone better, simply being willing to open another box. Because every box we open reveals something surprising. It was never the memory that was holding our energy. It was the story it contained and how the story became part of our identity. When you stop identifying with the story, the energy begins to move freely, not because we forced it, but because it no longer has to remain trapped inside the box. As more boxes are opened, less energy remains tied to why they were created, and more energy becomes available to live, to create, to love, to laugh, to be present. And then something unexpected begins to happen. One day you notice the attic was never the destination. It was always the doorway. The doorway was never somewhere else. It was never waiting at the end of a journey. It appeared every time you're willing to open another box, every time you questioned another story, every time you chose present awareness over limited understanding. That's why I titled my last book, The Attic Was Never the Destination. Because the attic is never where life is meant to be lived. It's simply an invitation to discover that every box has merely been life expressing itself through stories that once made sense. Every box that's opened releases a little more light into the attic until one day you notice something remarkable. The attic isn't dark anymore. And because of that, you can see that the doorway has been there all along. You realize there was never anything to escape from and nothing left to become. It was only ever life living itself. Life living life. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the attic. I hope these conversations have enticed you to look at your own boxes with a little more curiosity and a lot more compassion. Because every box you're willing to open brings you one step closer to remembering what's always been here. After all, life is an energy game. And once you understand how it's played, you can party like purple, man, every single day. I hope you've enjoyed these 10 conversations. And remember, if you want to go back and take a look at them, just enter the attic. The link's in the description. It's yours. It's here anytime you want to look at it. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.